show you in this video how I tackle a really stubborn mat on a dog or a coat where you can't just cut it out because you really need it there. So this is my own Gordon Centennial. Wait. Alright, up you go. And if you can see well enough, setters and spaniels, they need their feathers down here, and this part is one of the most important one, which often gets damaged with boys by peeing on it. And Nia, please stay there. Right, and he's got a really stubborn mat here, right there. Right, come here now, please. Naughty, up. So in that section exactly, he's got right there a really stubborn mat, which I'll show you up close. Here's Neo, and I'm going to show you that knot that I was trying to show you is right there. There's something stuck in it, and here we are. It's a really solid mat. Now the skin is very sensitive, so if you can see where it is, right there in that corner. Now as you can see, I can't cut that out because he'll lose a big portion of his feathers that he needs. So what we're going to do is get my Pantene Sleek and Smooth Dry Oil. Sorry, this is in some foreign language. Now, this is a dry oil containing silicone. Dry oil means that when it dries, it doesn't leave a greasy residue, and it basically dries to nothing. I don't want to leave him oily because he's out in muddy fields, and that will just attract far too much dirt. So we're going to apply this. We will lose some hair, but I will be able to save most of it. So just bear with me. So I'm just about to put some dry oil into him. Sorry, I haven't got where to put the camera. He's laying there on the table. So I'm just going to squirt directly onto the knot. Stay. So I've just put some there. And I'm going to work it in with my fingers. Looks a little bit soapy. Into that section, and some more. And with my fingers, I'll try to separate as much as I can. So we'll rub some in, stay, and then we'll get a little slicker brush, just an ordinary soft slicker. I don't like the very harsh ones. And we will start. Let me see if I can put this somewhere where you can see. Stay here. Right, let's try. So I've rubbed that oil into this mat, and I think the reason he gets this horrible mat here, because being a boy, he really likes to polish his bits. And I think as he's licking and grooming himself, he's tangling up all the hair, which is why I often call him stop it, because that's pretty much what I keep telling him, to stop licking, stop chewing. Sorry guys, I've got nowhere to put the camera. Stay. See if that might help us. Oh, here we go. You might be able to see something now. So, and I'll start by gently working the oil through the coat, and the key is to separate it into small sections. I'll do everything around the knot, the big one. Brush the ends through before I run the slicker through the rest of the coat, because then I always check my brush afterwards to see how much coat I've removed. Again, setters and spaniels, we want to have really nice thick feathers on them. You will lose some, so the more you have the better. Some will get pulled out. He's in muddy field every day. So we've cleared out everything around the major knot. There is a... Oh, Neo, why'd you do this? He's got a couple more in his tan markings here. Can you see that? Look, can you see that really solid one there? And there's another one next to it. And also, it probably hurts him every time he moves. So we need to do this. And he was bathed a week ago. And this is how bad he gets within a week, matter of days. And I just can't bath him every week. And this wouldn't easily come out in a bath anyway. So I'm working that out. He might lose some of it, but see what we can save. And this kind of dry oil in the salon on the client's dogs, I also use it if there's a doodle with a very stubborn knot in the tail normally. The doodle ears generally are just cut out behind the ear on the doodles, because that just mats badly and they don't need it. But for tails, you really want to save the tails. I can see how red his skin is there where the mat's been pulling on him. So, just trying to tease apart what I can, rather than just keep cutting it. But he will lose some are just beyond saving. And then you can see he's laying here nicely for me, so I have to cut some out. Right. So unfortunately we had to lose this. That is beyond saving. You can see that's just solid there. That was not going to get brushed through. So he's lost a bit there. On this one, it's literally hanging on by a string there. So there's not a lot of saving of that one. So I'll cut in across the knot. Stay. Oh no, use only scissors. Only scissors, darling. No, lay it nicely. Go on. That's it. So see, if I was hurting him, he wouldn't lay so nicely for me. And he's only just learned to lay on a table for me. He always used to stand for everything. Right, so we've done that one, and now back to this stubborn knot, which we managed to make it a little bit smaller. So instead of having a big chunk one by brushing away and teasing apart with the oil, we made it a lot smaller. No, because you're going to kick my camera off, my boy. Just about sorted it out. There we go. And I'm holding the side of the knot, and with the brush I'm going sideways. Until it's, I'm going to keep working at it until it's literally just a knot hanging on a 1 or 2 little hairs, and then the rest will get cut out because he would have lost some of this anyway. The reason this heavy knot formed, because this bit, that you can see that, you put your knee there. That's it. Step, no. Put it there. Just hanging like this. Right, see if I can show you. You see this heavy knot there? The reason it's formed was because that's loose hair already. So we went from something that was that big into a little section that's just almost hanging there on a string. So make it as small as possible, and then he'll lose the rest of it. So we just work down to a tiny little bit there left. And this is exactly the way I dematt doodle tails, because we don't want to shave that. And on him, rather than cutting out a big lump, of hair, this is all I'm going to cut away. That's hanging on a couple of hairs there, and that is solid, so that will come out anyway, and we'll just snip that. So from a knot that was that big of an area, I've removed this much. So yes, unfortunately he's lost some of the coat, but it's not a very nice coat, and that's probably partly the reason why he's matting so easily, because his coat is too soft and the texture's not correct. But you see, at least he's got something there. So we save that section there, and we've done that. And here, guys, this is the section where we've put the oil in, so you can see a little bit shining there. It still feels a little greasy, but when it dries, there'll be nothing. But you see this section there, if I kept cutting the knots out every time, he wouldn't. Neil, please stop spinning. Come here. Just stay still. Stay. So on a setter, you want to fill all of this in. So I can't just go in and cut it, but we've dematted it, and he has got some feathers left there. So that's my secret trick, is to not use the liquid detanglers, but to use, Neo, sit, Neo, sit down, sit, good boy. I don't like to use the wet ones, just like a liquid spray on, but I prefer to use the dry oil because it coats the coat and makes it nice and slippery, almost like a lubricant. You pretty boy, aren't you, Stumpy? And then you can separate the hair what you can, and the rest will just brush out under the brush, gliding a bit easier, but you'll still lose some of the coat, but at least it's not cutting big chunks out of them. So thank you for watching. Show you back here as well, because he's literally a matted mess. I mean, look at this. This is just bad, and he's like this every few days. And he's just too big and too dirty. I can't bath him every 2 days. So we use a dry oil, which we rubbed in. This side is equally bad. And then with the pin brush, I go into here and I'll hold I have done a video like this on dematting a setter. But we'll just do this one leg, and he will lose some hair. Don't spin around, my boy. Don't. There's bits of field stuck in him. Now, he's been in the mud every day, but I did rinse him out nicely. I wouldn't call him a clean dog, but I rinsed him with the warm shower, rinsed all the mud out, so I can now brush this coat with something in it. I'd like him to go at least another week. But having this dry oil in there, see, I hold the side, I line brush and separate these heavy knots back here. And he's very much used to this because we do a lot of this. I'm literally inches away from getting the clippers out with my biggest comb and just just taking a length off of this to regrow it, because take the length off, shorten it, the feathers, and let them regrow thicker, since shorter hair isn't going to be matting as much. And even if it does mat, it's a lot easier to work through it. And boy setters also mat really badly between there, since their dingleberries are rubbing between their thighs, so they do get heavy knots in there. And I'll just work my way like that, and then we'll come back and I'll show you what we've managed to do. Through that back of him on this side, we'll check with the comb. See, that's all gone through now. And we've removed this much coat came out, so we've lost some hair. And that's why he's lost so much density back here, because he's been for about a year. Go forward, my boy. For about a year, he's been matting so badly here. So I'm surprised he's got anything left, and that's why I'm tempted to really take a lot of this length off and let it regrow and come back thick. So watch this. Maybe one day you'll see me putting clippers through that. All right, thanks for watching, guys, but I hope this was helpful. How to use a dry oil to demat a lot easier, and that's the way it works for me. So, and this boy still has got some hair on him, despite really bad knotting lately. So thank you for watching, guys. I hope this tip is helpful for you.